It's going to be an intense thing, okay? So if I'm going a little bit too fast, don't worry about it because we're going to have a lot to cover, okay? But there's also going to be a replay, and I'm going to recap the most important things you guys need to take away from this masterclass. Um, so I'm assuming that you guys wanted to join this or have signed up to join us because you do want to actually accelerate your Instagram growth. And I've actually, if you guys didn't know, I started my social media journey about a year ago, in 2020 when, well, 2 years ago, but it's kind of a year, um, in like mid 2020, right? When COVID happened and all of that, I decided I'm going to make some content. And over the course of that 1 year period or a year and a half now, I've grown over 300,000 followers, and it's been absolutely crazy. And Instagram has been one of the platforms which has like exploded at the fastest rate. And that's just because I'm taking experience from YouTube, as well as TikTok and all of that sort of stuff. So I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. All right, so what we're going to be covering mainly in this masterclass is how I grew from 0 to 100,000 followers in less than a year. All the mistakes you need to be avoiding with Instagram and Instagram Reels itself, because that's what we're going to be focusing on, is purely Instagram Reels, because that's the number one way to grow on Instagram. We're also going to be talking about my method of growing consistently, how you can use trends as a growth engine. This is going to be the number one way to grow with Instagram Reels, as well as the planning, the shooting, and the editing of Reels. And then we've got the hashtag Instagram Reels, which is actually going to be the most important thing because I'm going to be pushing you guys to actually start posting content, and you're going to be seeing that growth happen in a matter of 10 days. So it's going to be a 10-day Instagram Reel challenge. But once again, we're going to talk about that at the end, and you're going to be applying all of the techniques I'm teaching you guys in here. So let's go ahead and start off. So obviously I spoke about my journey already, but when I started off with Instagram, numbers weren't crazy, and you're going to see the exact same thing for you as well. You're going to have stuff with only 1,000 or 2,000 views. I'm going to activate the little laser pen so you can see where my mouse is, but you can see like the constant growth is going up and up and up. And then now every month I'm reaching, some of my videos are reaching over 1 million views over the course of a month, which is absolutely crazy, and that the impact of that is crazy. So as you know, everyone starts from zero. So unfortunately, I've only got a screenshot of me with 7,000 followers, but everyone starts from zero. It's the same thing for everyone. There's no secret hack to actually get followers. We're going to talk about something you need to avoid as well, and this is crucial to Instagram growth, and this is using bots. You do not want to be using this, but we're going to touch upon this in a couple slides from here, and you're going to understand why bots are actually really harming your account and how it's not going to be pushing out your content. So obviously now to date we've got 119,000 followers. The growth has kind of exploded this week, so that's why it's a little bit outdated. But yeah, it's been absolutely crazy, and hopefully you too will start getting this kind of growth in just a matter of weeks and months. So nowadays, at the moment, I've got 100,000 followers on Instagram. I'm making over $5,000 monthly just by producing content across platforms, which is absolutely crazy. It's something you wouldn't actually think about, but it's something that everyone can do. Because if I can do it, I'm just your average Joe, who started posting content, and now I'm making ridiculous amount of money. Like, I'm not here to brag or anything, but it's something that is evolving, and this is what 2022 and up to 2020, 30 or 50 or whatever, it's going to be, content is going to be the thing. You're going to want to be making content, and it's going to be a reliable source of income. And of course, with that growth, you also start to work with industry leading brands. So I work with Rode. So this microphone is a Rode microphone. I work with Joby, Nandlight. So some of the lights you see in the background are Nandlight products, as well as Adobe. So fun little fact, I was going to work with Adobe, but for some reason I didn't actually get the campaign. But yeah, you have opportunities to work with industry leading brands, which is absolutely crazy. And this is what we're going to be talking about in this masterclass. Someone says in the chat, by the way, what's the mic setup? You have, like, what's it called? So it's the Rode video. It's the Rode. I don't know what it is. It's a Rode microphone, and it's an XLR microphone, and it's really really good, and it's really cheap as well. So definitely recommend this. But I'll leave a link to that later on. We'll talk about all this sort of stuff. So before we get started with the actual meat of it, I do want to quickly touch upon what is Instagram Reels, because some of you may not be that informed about it. So obviously Instagram Reels was launched in August, on August the 5th in 2020, and it was released to 50 countries, and now I think it is released to the majority of countries. But essentially it's just a short form content, short form video that you produce on Instagram, and that's batched out to your followers and then the explore page and all of that sort of stuff. So just so you understand, it is purely video content. And here are three interesting facts you may not know about Instagram Reels. So currently they are the number one way to grow on Instagram, and you can see this by my analytics. Now, I personally don't post many in-feed posts, but you can see even with 120,000 followers, I only get about 28,000 average reach with my stories in a 7 day period, which isn't that much considering, it's like maybe a quarter of my actual followers. So you can see that Reels has a huge impact, and you can kind of see it faintly, but there's a light blue and there's a dark blue. So this is non-followers. And you can see that the posts and the stories, you actually don't really have any interaction or reach from non-followers. So it's not going to be pushed out to anyone else apart from your followers. And this is why Reels is the number one way to grow organically. And bear in mind, this is a 7 day period, right? 5.1 million views or reach in 7 days is absolutely crazy. And that's just with an account with 120,000 followers. So you can imagine the reach you'll get with accounts with 1 million followers or 500,000 followers. So absolutely crazy. Reels also perform on average 4 times better than any other post, and this is just known facts now. It's across the board with all the other influencer creators that I talk to, and you can see that even though I've got 120,000 followers, it's only showing it to 10,000 of my followers, right? And then 45,000 is going to be from your non-followers. So this is just from explore pages and all of that. So really interesting to see that Reels isn't actually that pushed to your followers. It's more on the explore page, but you'll see that your followers actually do play a key part in this. And once again, if you weren't aware, Instagram do have some monetization features with bonuses, and I recently did a video about 4 months ago on how you could make over $750 just by going live on Instagram, right? Well, we're now introducing a feature where you can get paid over or up to $35,000 in a 30-day period, which is absolutely nuts. It was rolled out in the US in 2021 during summer, and it's now going to be rolled out to everyone in summer of 2022. So super exciting. Definitely can't wait for that. You're going to see a bunch of content from me all about this, how you can exploit this and make as much money as possible. So stay tuned for that. So that's the basic stuff about Instagram Reels, and now we're going to get into the actual meat of it. So I want to see some ones in the chat for everyone who is excited to learn about the Instagram algorithm, how to grow, and all of that sort of stuff, all that good stuff. So I can see a bunch of ones in chat. Let's go. Or I'm just going to move it over into. I'm doing a screen recording as well, so I just want to get a bit of interaction as well for this. So absolutely awesome. 19 messages. It's not updating, you guys. It's typing way too fast. Absolutely crazy. Super excited. Let's go. All right. All right. I can see you're excited. I'm going to take a quick drink because I need water. All right. So, how does the Instagram algorithm work? So, what are the real secrets to Instagram Reel growth? So the first thing I want to talk about is how do the views work for Instagram? So obviously, as soon as you post, you have 0 views. Now, what actually happens as soon as you post is this gets pushed out to a very small amount of people in your followers, okay? And this is where bots are going to be playing a key role. If you have, for some reason, bought bots in the past, or you've just recently done it, I'm going to strongly advise you to just create a new account, because this is what's going to be damaging your account from now on. Okay, as soon as you post, it's going to be pushed into waves. So what's going to happen? It's going to push out to 50 people, then it's going to push it out to 100 people, then 1,000 people, and then eventually, it's just going to snowball. So if you have your initial, if your post is being pushed out to your followers and their bots, like their accounts that aren't being used, Instagram is going to see that, it's going to flag that, it's going to say, you've got a low trust score, your followers aren't interacting with your content, so we're not going to push out your content because we know what you're doing behind the scenes. We know you've bought followers. They know everything. So don't try and trick the system. Don't try and show off to your friends that you've got 2,000 followers or 1,000 followers. And it's also obvious, right? If you post a picture or Instagram reel and then you get 10 likes, you've got 1,000 followers, that's a direct red flag, and anyone can see that. And obviously the Instagram algorithm is going to see that. So what happens is once it gets pushed out into waves, it's going to base all of that on different types of interactions and engagements. So here you can see it gets pushed out to 150 people, then 1,000, 100,000, 500, and then 1 million. So essentially what I'm saying is the higher your trust score is on Instagram, we'll talk about this a little bit later, the more views that's going to result on. So what exactly do these views depend on? Well, there are a few different factors, and it's actually quite interesting. After doing a little bit of research on my content, we actually have some numbers and statistics. So when it comes to your real interactions, we actually have 2% of your interactions are going to be coming from saves. So your saves are fairly important, but the likes are what count the most. So obviously you've got 6% on here. Um, and what this means is the more interactions you get, the more views you're going to get. And then we've got shares and comments, which also play a key role. And this is all relevant to 1,000 views. So obviously, if you've got 100,000 views, the numbers are going to change. But this is just relevant to 1,000 views, so you kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about when it comes to interactions. Now here you have a bit of proof. So here we've got a video where it's reached 100,000 people, and you can see 0.5% of these interactions were saves, and then 3% of them were likes. And then on the other side, we've got a video that has a very recent one, which suddenly blew up like a few days ago. It now has 1.5 million views. Okay, and this has a 2.5% save interaction and then 12% like interaction. Now, one thing I do want to also talk about is if your videos aren't doing well as soon as you post them after 24 hours, 48 hours, you don't need to delete them. There's no need to delete them. I know people delete stuff, and I've done it in the past before when it came to my TikTok account. But what you need to understand as well is what people don't also talk about is that there are different waves, right? So Instagram analyzes your content, and if it sees that one of your videos that you recently posted is doing really well, what it's going to do is kind of scan your content and be like, this video didn't perform well. Let's reintroduce this into the algorithm, and then let's see how that works. And this is exactly what happened with this video, okay? It did really, really badly when it first got published for the first 48 hours. And I think it only had like maybe 15,000 views. Now, for me, that's bad, right? Because on average, I get about 30 to 40,000 views after 24 hours. And I was like, how come this didn't do very well? But then I suddenly saw in my notifications, I was getting loads of interactions on it. And then it just suddenly blew up to I think 500,000 views. And now obviously it's at over 1 million, 1.5 million views, which is crazy. So just also remember that if your content isn't doing very well, it has another life. Instagram's going to like scan your content, and then it's going to reintroduce that into the algorithm because it can see that your content is working. So maybe there was just a fluke, maybe there was something happening, who knows. So they will always reintroduce content, and they also do this when they notice like there isn't, they also have like a set percentage of videos uploaded, and if they don't get enough interactions, they're going to start reintroducing older pieces of content. So that's also one thing to keep in mind. Now, obviously, I just spoke about this, but this is how the algorithm works. So the more saves, likes, shares, comments, and average watch time you have is going to be the best in order for your content to blow up. Now, one thing about Instagram growth and how to grow on Reels is people think that these three things are the most important factors when it comes to posting Instagram Reels, and that is completely wrong. Okay? Just remember this. Your hashtags, your call to action, and the time you post is not the most important thing. The most important thing is your content, okay? So the more value you provide to your audience, the more they're going to save it, the more they're going to like it, the more they're going to share, and the more they're going to comment. So, and what that does is give your content and your post more interactions, which overall gives your account more interactions. And that's the main thing you want to be growing, especially when you're starting off with 1,000 followers or 0 followers. You need as many account interactions as possible. Doesn't matter if you have one video that goes viral, because that's not going to play a huge role. What matters is that your overall account has the most interaction it possibly can have. Now, I hope you like these little emojis because I spent some time adding this into the PowerPoint. So I hope you appreciate them, but you're going to see a lot more of them. It's meant to look like me. I don't know if it does, but you know, had to work with what we had. But here are some other things, right? Maybe you've tried Instagram Reels, maybe you've tried hashtags, but none of it works. Why exactly is that? Well, we just said it. Because that doesn't make people save and share your content. And at the end of the day, that's what you want to aim for. You need your content to be reshareable, rewatchable, likable. People are going to be sending it to your friends. Like, it's crazy the amount of interactions I get with certain posts where I might have 2,000 likes on that post in the span of like 2, 3 hours. But if I check the analytics, I have 50% of those likes as saves, which is crazy. It's super valuable. That indicates to Instagram that this content is one, likable, two, savable. So they're going to be like, this person's going to come back to this piece of content. And you might be like me, you save a bunch of content, and then you never end up going back to it. But it's still a huge flag to have content which is shareable and likable. I'm quickly seeing a quick message in the chat. So one question on that, then there are videos I see all the time that are just stupid but get tons of views and likes. How do you explain that? Is it just about rewatchable and reshareable? Yeah, so it actually plays a huge role. So these, I'm guessing you're talking about theme accounts and all that sort of stuff. It's because they have a very high watch time, okay? A lot of these people are watching it maybe twice, three times, four times, and then they're also going to be sharing it to their friends. They're going to be tagging their friends, and that's what plays a huge role. Okay, the amount of times people are watching your content, you can see this in the analytics. You can see the average watch time of your videos. That's one of the key factors you want to be paying attention to. But once again, we're going to be talking about this a little bit more in depth later on in this masterclass. Emojis make it more interactive. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate the emojis. I'm going to try and not read chat too much. There is going to be a Q&A section where you guys can ask you questions, and if you want to hop in the Zoom actual like video section and we have a one-on-one, then we'll also have that. So feel free to save your questions till later. But if I have time to read them, I'm also going to read them and answer your questions as we go along. But essentially, the real secret is getting as many real interactions as possible and blowing up your Instagram account and getting as much account reach as possible. You don't want to be focusing on one piece of content a week where it's going to be super viral, especially if you're beginning. You want to get as much account reach as possible. You want to be posting as much as possible. So you want to be providing as much valuable, as much, you want to be providing as much value as possible. So the key takeaways about this quick section is every reel you post will be shown to your followers, and then it's going to interact it. People who interact with it is going to slowly then push it out to the Reels tab, which is the Explore page or the FYP page if you're familiar with TikTok. So essentially, the more interactions you get, the more views you're going to get, and that's the key to growing on Instagram with valuable content. Okay. So what kind of content should you be posting? Well, I've kind of analyzed 4 different sections or categories you should be focusing on when creating your content. So one thing you also need to take into consideration is that you want to have multiple pillars when it comes to your content. You don't want to be posting the same thing every single day because people are going to get bored of that, okay? So 4 types of reels which I think perform the best are going to be educational reels, promotional reels, entertaining reels, and then about you reels. Okay, so we're going to quickly touch upon all of these. So educational reels can be stuff like how to easily make your profile picture stand out. Now, I'm going to be basing a lot of these examples on me because this is the kind of content that I produce. So you need educational content in order to make yourself an authority figure in your niche or an expert in your niche or your industry. So these videos are going to provide as much valuable, These videos should be providing as much value as possible, but do remember that they don't have to be boring in order to be educational. Now, one way I do this is by introducing different angles and stuff in my videos. So within the first 3 seconds of most of my videos, it has my face in it, which is going to be the main hook. And then after that, I'll go in depth into the tutorial and I'll introduce sound effects, music, different screen recordings, animated arrows if I'm showing you a tutorial, all of that sort of stuff plays a key role in your video to keep the interaction high, because at the end of the day, your main goal is to get that person to interact with your content by either liking, saving, sharing, or favoriting it. And then you also want them to have a high watch time, so you want them to watch the whole way through. Okay, next up, sorry, not next up. So here are 5 ideas that you can have when it comes to educational reels. So you've got the how-to series. So I do a lot of this. So how to grow on Instagram, how to edit something, how to do X, Y, Z. Okay, so this can apply to absolutely every single niche. You then have the hack section where editing hacks you need to know, or here's an iPhone hack I bet you didn't know, something like that, which has a really strong hook and it's going to entice your audience and your niche to continue watching. You also have the top 5 series or top 3 series. I tend to do the top 3 series more often because it's shorter, and we're going to talk about the length of your Instagram reels a little bit later on. But for example, in the slides earlier, we showed you stuff about the top 5 cameras you should be using for Instagram reels. So very quick, straight to the point, and it's just educational. You then have here's how you can do XYZ. So here's how you can make X amount of money while editing, or here's how you can increase your income with photography. All of that sort of stuff are going to be great educational videos. They're going to be quick, straight to the point, and it's just going to get your knowledge out there in a short form content. And then you also have this is the that's why you don't section, where this is why you aren't growing on Instagram, right? If you see a video where it says this is why you're not growing on Instagram and you want to be growing on Instagram, you're going to watch that video. Next up, we got your promotional content, and this is where you showcase your own services, your products, or your brand deals. Now, I don't do this as much as I should. Obviously, I've got a bunch of products and services that I offer, but I just like to keep it a bit more organic. I like to keep the audience natural, I guess. But essentially, what you want to be doing with your promotional content is try and keep one sales day a week or a month or every 2 weeks. And you use that one day as your promotional material. So then you can just talk about all of the stuff that you're offering and you don't look spammy, because at the end of the day, people don't want to be going onto Instagram and seeing all of your content and then be like, here, buy this, buy that. I saw this thing, buy it. Like, it's just going to annoy you. They're going to unfollow you and you're not going to build a great rapport with your audience. Next up, you've got the entertaining reels. So this is where your content's going to go viral. This is where you're going to get the most amount of views and engagement. But this doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the most followers from it. And later on in this presentation, we're going to be talking about statistics and what kind of content you should be focusing on. So how much you should be focusing on entertaining reels, promotional reels, and all that sort of stuff. But the key thing with entertaining reels is that you want to try and get that initial engagement from your audience, because I don't know if you've noticed, but if you like a piece of content from a creator and you haven't followed them, what Instagram is going to do is after you've done another 10 swipes or something, I don't know what the numbers are, but they're going to show you another piece of content from that same creator. Okay, and this is where it's super important. We're going to talk about your Instagram bio a little bit later, but it plays a huge role. So you want to be producing entertaining content on a weekly basis. So you kind of entertain, you have a bunch of different pillars where your content is being produced. So you can have stuff about you, entertaining, promo, and then the other section. So remember that these pillars are all very important and you should be implementing this into your strategy. And here are some examples of entertaining content. You've got trends, lip syncs, and dances. Obviously, I'm not a dancer, so I don't do any dancing stuff, but these are just examples. You kind of get the idea. But there are loads more other examples when it comes to entertaining content. And then the fourth one is the About You section, and this is where your audience is going to get to know you on a more personal level. So going from a stranger to a friend. Now, if you have been following me for a while, you know that I don't really post about you content. Now, one reason to this is because that's my bad. I should be posting it, and I know it's good to build a relationship with your audience. But what I do other than that is I go live on Instagram every single Thursday. What I do with that is I answer all the questions that everyone gives me. So I am producing about you content. I'm just not doing it on Instagram Reels, which is something that I personally need to work on. But I do find it hard because I don't know, I struggle sharing content about myself. I see a few questions quickly. I'm going to quickly read them. I've done a mistake of buying bot followers now. How can I undo this? Because it's affecting me. Should I delete all of them from my profile? Will that help? Please advise. The content is usually travel drone videos, which are doing really well. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. If you have bought followers, it's not going to hurt you to create a brand new account and repost your content. Okay, you can keep your old account where you've got 10,000 followers or 15,000 followers. Half of them might be bots. You can keep that if you want. But I would just say, make a new account, post your content that you would be posting on your old account first on your new account. And you'll see if you're posting consistently, you're going to grow and you're going to beat whatever followers you have. And these are all going to be real organic followers. Okay. So I hope that helps your question. If you have bought followers in the past, I just recommend creating a new account and then, what's this? Where's there a drawing on the Zoom? Someone fixed it. Anyway, moving on. The key takeaways about this is post educational or entertaining reels in order to gain followers, and then post promotional content to build a stable revenue, and then post reels about yourself to build a stronger relationship and rapport with your audience, and that eventually is going to increase your engagement. I'm going to quickly see how I can remove these drawings because I don't know what they are. Clear. There we go. Done. All right. So when it comes to your Instagram reel ideas, how we're going to create them and how we're going to create reels, which isn't going to be another reel that you're already posting and it's not getting any results. How we're going to create a reel that really does work. Okay. Tip number one is don't reinvent the wheel because it's already been done. Stop relying on your own creativity 100% of the time. Now, I'm not saying it's not good to rely on your creativity, but don't reinvent it. Don't waste all of your time thinking of amazing ideas you could do. It's already been done before. It's the same with YouTube. YouTube's been around for years. Okay, you got inspiration from YouTube. Take that. Learn by watching other creators in your niche. Okay, here we've got an example of creators that I watch all the time. We've got Simone, he posts stuff about portrait photography. We've got Oliver, he posts stuff about product photography. We've got Mike, he does more photography. Odright, just a friend of mine, but he posts really good content. Go check out their profiles and analyze what's working with the top influencers in your niche, and then take that content and then reinvent it. Okay? You don't need to think of your own original ideas all the time. This is what's going to help you kickstart your growth. And at the end of the day, we're going to talk about this a little bit later on, but you need to be posting consistently. If you're a brand new account of 0 followers or 100 followers, if you want to have that explosive growth and then reach the level that I am and have 50,000 followers, you need to be posting consistently in order to actually get that initial traction. Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit later because it is a very key thing to your Instagram growth. Next up is also researching your niche. Now, a really great way you can do this is if you have TikTok. Now, I know some of you guys are from India, you mentioned it in the chat. You can download a VPN and download TikTok, and this is going to be one of the best ways you can grow your Instagram account. And the reason for that is because TikTok has a search engine. You can go into the search feature and type in your niche. You can then select the top videos. You can also go to the videos, and then there's a filter section where you can filter by most liked within that month or within that year or within that quarter. Analyze all of the content that's working, see what's working for these creators in your niche, and then adapt that to your own thing. You can also do that with other niches. So if you are an editor instead of a photographer, see what's working for editors. And this is going to really help you have your content plan out ideas that you want to be creating, and then you're just going to see the explosive growth. Next up is, of course, understanding your audience's needs. So you can do this by checking out Quora, or Google and YouTube Trends, or Answer the Public. Just type in a keyword, and then you're going to get a bunch of questions that people are asking in real time. Just write down all of those ideas. If you feel like that's an idea you can talk about, you have knowledge about. For example, if someone asks me, how can I take the best photos with my phone? I know how to do that. That's something I can provide value on. Okay, and people are asking that on Quora or Answer the Public. Take advantage of what people are asking and use that and implement that into your strategy. Someone says, do you use a planner or planner app to plan all of your content? Is this key to maintain consistency? We're going to be talking about that. Okay, don't worry. But to long answer short, yes, I use a planner, but we'll talk about that. Next up is come up with a list of most asked questions. So once you've done all of your research, you've checked out all your top creators, you've done TikTok research, you've gone on Quora, you've gone on Answer the Public, you've done your YouTube research, write down the most asked questions or the questions that you feel like you can answer. Okay, you want to be making a list of that. We'll talk about this later on when it comes to the planner. You then also want to be researching trending sounds because this is also one of the best ways to grow on Instagram. Okay, if you didn't know, there are trending sounds on Instagram, and this is what it looks like. If you see this arrow, that means that sound is currently trending. Now, there are a few different variables when it comes to trending sounds. For example, I'm sure you're all aware of the infinity trend where you have the lights behind you. That's a trend, and you can see it's got the trending thing, but it's got 1.9 million reels. So this is a very, very powerful trend, but it's also quite an old trend. Okay, so there are two entry barriers or entry points to your trends and researching trends. If it has a low reel video volume, so for example, 90,000 reels, I know that's quite a lot, but let's just take, for example, you see a trending audio which has 1,000 reels. Take advantage of that, write it down and be like, this reel has potential to actually get to 100,000 reels. So if you're one of the first creators to post a reel with a trending audio and it only has 1,000 reels to start with, and you've used that audio, and then in a week or 2 weeks, it's got 100,000 reels, and you posted before that, you've arrived before the party's arrived, your content's going to be shown to more people, because what happens with trending sounds is Instagram knows what's trending, and it's going to keep showing the same audio to you if you liked a piece of content which used this audio, for example, it's going to show you more pieces of content with this audio. So that is the benefit of using trending audio. Now, if you use original audio, you can still go viral, okay? But using trending sounds is also going to just, I don't know how to say it, but it's just going to elevate it. It's going to get you more reach in the future. So a strong thing to advise with planning out your Instagram Reels. There are also websites which allow you to find what are the trending reels. So this is a website called Talkboard, which is the most trending sounds on TikTok. And a fun little fact about this is that, yes, it's TikTok, but what happens is after a week or a few days after the sound is trending on TikTok, it moves over to Instagram, because Instagram has a slight delay when it comes to trends, because obviously Instagram Reels is a carbon copy of TikTok. So everything will move to Instagram eventually. So you can use Talkboard to your advantage, and find the trending audios before they become trending on Instagram. And that just goes back to what I said. If you post a video with a trending sound while it's still relatively low in videos, then that's just going to help out, okay? You also have the Instagram creator account. So it's this account here, creators, and it's an official Instagram account, and they actually post a weekly update every single week with the most trending videos of that week, as well as the most trending audios of that week, okay? You'll notice that a lot of the most viral videos use trending sounds. They very rarely use original audio unless it's a huge theme page which has over 1 million followers or 500,000 followers. So just be aware of that. If you're not a huge account, using original audio is not going to harm you, but it's just not going to help you. So here are the do's and don'ts when it comes to researching your reels. Make sure you use the right references. If you see a video that you really, really, really like, but it has 400 views, don't reference that, don't save it. It's going to be a waste of time. It might work, but in most cases it won't. You're only focusing on finding content that has at least 20 to 30,000 views, that has at least 2,000 to 3,000 likes, and not videos that have 1,000 or 100 likes, views, or 5 to 10 likes, because that's not going to work. Unless, of course, it's a really great video and it was posted like 5 minutes ago, then sure enough, save it, come back to it in 24 hours and see how it's performed. Also, don't be afraid to try trends and apply them to your niche. If you guys are familiar with TikTok, you know who Bella Porch is. She's the one who does it's M to the B, whatever song. And it's literally just a zoom in video of her face going like bloop, 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 or whatever. I've applied this trend to my niche. And how did I do that? I had a video of her on my laptop doing the trend. And then I had my camera on a gimbal copying the movements that she was doing. So she like looks to the left, to the right, up and down, all of that. So I got my gimbal and I did the movements, and that did really well. Now, obviously, Bella Porch is a famous TikToker, and she's got 80 million views on this, but it did really well on my account. Got 500,000 views almost. So apply trends to your niche. If you see a trend happening, if you scroll through 20 Instagram Reels and you see the same thing maybe 2-3 times, save it and see if you can adapt that to your content. Same thing with the infinity trend. Obviously, this one didn't do as well as the M to the B, but the infinity trend, I did some tutorials, and overall, I think it's got about 250,000 views out of the series. So another great way to help out your growth and just to do trends. So the key takeaways to this is that there are loads of ways to come up with ideas. So no need for you to use your creativity 100% of the time. By no means do I say don't use your creativity. Obviously, use your creativity and come up with your own ideas. But if you see an idea that you like or you can add on to it, go ahead and just, make your own version of it. Now, the next step to this is to create your 10-day content plan. So someone was asking about this earlier in the chat. So this is what we're going to be talking about. How are you going to be coming up with your real plan? Why do we need a real plan? Well, if you don't have a real plan, you're not going to be consistent, and this is key to your growth, especially or primarily when starting out. You're not going to come up with new ideas. You're going to be posting based on your own mood. So whether or not you feel like posting today, okay? And that is something that I've fallen victim of the last month. I haven't been posting as much. Now, there are some different angles when it comes to this, because obviously I am a bigger account. There's no need for me to post as much because I already have that initial reach. I'm getting 5 million views on my videos every single week. So I don't need to be posting every single day. But It's something that I need to work on. I've also been very busy, but make sure you've got a content plan so you know which days you're posting and you know what videos you're making. Also, if you don't have a content plan, you're not going to be trying different ideas. You're just going to be posting what you want, and that's not going to work 90% of the time. You need to be experimenting. You need to see what works in your niche and what videos are working the best for you. Next up, this is a content plan. Now, we're going to be giving this away tomorrow, okay? And we'll be talking about this a little bit later. But essentially, when it comes to your content plan, what you want to be doing is have a 7-day plan or a 10-day plan, and you want to focus on having your content idea, your music you're going to be using for that video, and then your reference. So if it's just a script or if it's a video inspiration you had, just add all of this and it'll make your entire content creation plan a lot easier because you've already written down everything you need to do. So now there's no need for you to research an idea, then script it, film it, and edit it. You already have all of that written down, so you can come to that if you have like a dedicated shooting day or an editing day or a day where you plan your content. You can have all of that ready for when you're ready to do all of that. Now, when it comes to actually creating your content, you do want to be, oh, sorry. When it comes to creating your content, you do want to have, why am I lost for words? I don't know why. You want to have a kind of structure. So like I do a lot of batch production. So when it comes to creating my content, I'll have a list of 5 or 10 different videos. I know Kasim also has this. He will write down all of his ideas and then so it'll take an hour to do that, and then the next hour he's going to take an hour to shoot all of those videos, and then he might stop for that day, and then the next day he's going to come back to that, and then he's going to start editing his videos. Someone says there's no sound at my end. Can someone just double check if there's sound? Hello? We got sound, we got sound. Okay, we got a troller. That's not nice. Now, when it comes to your content strategy, what you want to be focusing on is 80% of your content should be content that you already know is performing well. So this is either from the research that you've done with other creators, you know it's working for them, so you want to adapt that content and create that kind of content. And then the other 20% is that you want to be creating new ideas, experimenting different stuff, whether that's trends, whether you are a photographer and you want to do a dance video, use that 20% of your content plan to do a dance video and see if it works. See if you can make that work. And if it does work, that can be added to your 80% plan. Okay, so what happens if you are a different type of creator? Now, I know this is going to be key to all of you because everyone is different. No one's going to be the same. I'm a photographer, videographer, editor. So I'm different. Someone might be a nutritionist or a gymnast or an entrepreneur. So what kind of content should you be focusing on in your niche or in your industry? If you're an entertainer or lifestyle influencer, right, you post vlogs on YouTube, you should be focusing on creating 50% of your content to be entertainment reels. Then 30% of that is going to be about yourself. Okay, now why is this important? Because you're a lifestyle influencer, you're an entertainer. People want to laugh. People like, I have creators that I follow where I just want to relax, I just want to laugh, I just want to have fun. I don't want to be working all the time. Okay, so this is important. There are different categories when it comes to being a creator, and I fall underneath the entrepreneur/expert category. But if this is you, you should be focusing on entertainment and about yourself primarily. You also want to be focusing on having a little bit of educational so you can bring value, and also promotional, because obviously at the end of the day, I think everyone who has joined this wants to make this a full-time thing. Okay. But obviously, once you've gotten that initial growth, these stats will change. You can focus more on 20% for promotional, 20% educational. You can diverse yourself, okay? It's not set in stone, but these are kind of guidelines. If you're an entrepreneur and expert like me, 50% of your content should be educational, 20% should be entertainment, 15% should be about yourself. Now, once again, it doesn't necessarily have to be about yourself for reels. You could just do about yourself for posts or Instagram lives like I do. And then 15% of it you want to be promotional. So obviously you can start getting money. Now, if you're a beginner and you have no goals whatsoever, then just focus your content on entertainment, and then the rest of that 10% educational and about yourself, because at the moment you haven't got a goal, okay? If you do want to focus more on educational and then 10% entertainment, also go ahead and do that. There's no set guideline. No one's going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But these are just guidelines that I'm going to give you if you're in these niches and you don't know what kind of content you should be posting. So it's just a guideline. Remember that. So the key takeaways to this is focus on creating your content strategy and then build a structure when planning your content. So what are the main do's and don'ts when it comes to creating your Instagram Reels? So this is going to be a step-by-step guide to getting your first reel to 10,000 views. So I know a lot of you haven't even gotten 10,000 views, and that's no problem whatsoever. Okay, don't feel bad if your views aren't going higher, if they're just static at 100 views or whatever, because this is going to help you out. You first want to focus on posting what your target audience wants. So previously, we spoke about doing all this research by checking out other creators, going on TikTok, going on YouTube. Okay, focus on what your niche is most interested in, because this has already been done. Okay, you don't need to think about it. It's already been done. Okay, this is one of the most important things. Don't post, or try not to post, content that only you like. Now, this is a prime example of content that I've posted before in the past, where I bought a brand new drone. You can see it on the rack. And I just said, I bought a brand new drone. Woo! Okay, you can see it's only at 20,000 views. It didn't do very well. There's a reason for that. Now, obviously, this can fall under the category about you, but not necessarily in this case, because it was just me saying, I bought a brand new drone, check it out, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Okay, remember that 90% of your views on Instagram Reels are going to be from the Explore page. They have no idea who you are, so they're not going to care. Focus on posting short form content. Now, I can't stress this enough. The amount of videos that I've seen that are over 30 seconds is killing me. Okay, people need to understand that short form content is the most important thing. Instagram Reels is alive because of TikTok. And what did TikTok do? They only had 15-second videos when it first launched. Obviously, now they've got 30 seconds, they've got a minute, and they've now got 3 minutes. But it's the same thing with Instagram. They started off with 15, they went to 30, and now they've got a minute. But the majority of your reels and the majority of my reels, 90% of them that have over 1 million views are between 7 to 15 seconds. Now, I know what you're thinking, 7 to 15 seconds, can I get enough information across? Absolutely. What you need to be doing, if you have already posted reels before and you see there's not any growth, the views aren't very high, you need to trim the fat out of that, okay? You need to get rid of all your filler words. You need to be straight to the point, because people are coming to Instagram Reels because they want to see content that's either going to make them laugh or they want to learn something in a short amount of time. If they wanted to watch a full-length video, they'll go over to YouTube, okay? But a lot of people come to me and send me messages and say, Seb, I love your content because it is straight to the point. Okay, now I focus my content, my entire strategy around posting my videos was to, excuse my language, post no bullshit content. Okay, I'm not going to create a 10-minute YouTube video where only 1 minute of that video is going to give you value. And I know you've all experienced this. You've watched a YouTube video and at the end of the 10 minutes, it's like, I only learned 1 minute worth of things and I watched a 10-minute video. I just wasted my time. All of my YouTube videos, all of my TikToks, all of my Instagram Reels, every second counts for me. I'm not going to waste people's time. I'm going to make sure that they get value out of it. Next up, if you have a bad hook, your video is not going to do very well. Okay, here you've got an example, how to create, use and share presets in Lightroom Mobile. First of all, that's a mouthful. Okay, that's not going to be interesting. People are going to listen to that for 2 seconds and going to be like, whoosh, next. Okay, so what you can do instead of this is, instead of how to create, use and share presets in Lightroom Mobile, you could change it to a different hook and say, how to make a filter for your Instagram feed or something like that, you know, straight to the point. People know what they're going to get. It's not complicated. There's not a bunch of steps, because in this, there's 1, 2, 3 steps. And then there's Lightroom Mobile, which is, I guess, kind of another step. So you're already lowering your entry barrier by having all of these steps, because people are going to be like, this is a ton of work. It's going to be a long video. I'm just going to skip it. Obviously, using trending audios, we spoke about this. Key thing to remember is that this arrow means it's trending. So pay attention to that. You can also click on this audio and then it will expand and it'll tell you how many reels have been created with that audio. And you can also see the top trending reels using that audio. So what do you do with that? You use that as your research. You analyze why these videos have been blowing up using this audio. It might be because it's a trend, okay? If it's a trend on how to do a dance and you're using that to do an educational video, chances are that's not going to work in your favor. Okay, so pay attention to that. Okay, next up is using a watermark in your video. I know a lot of people did this at the very start and I see a lot less of it, but Instagram actually announced that they're going to be restricting content that has a watermark. So whether that's your own logo or whether it's a logo of TikTok, it's going to get capped. Okay, they've got algorithms in Instagram which detect that sort of stuff. Because what's happened, and I'm sure you guys are all aware of this and get frustrated. I know I hate this the absolute most, but these theme pages are constantly reposting TikToks. And it annoys me so much because it's not original. Like when I go through Instagram Reels and I look for inspiration, I will see 20 videos out of that, and they're all theme pages. And out of like one video out of those 20 videos, it's going to be like a video of someone talking like me, which is also a huge gap in the market, which you need to take advantage of, which is the purpose of this. Okay, have your face or something interesting to look at. I've noticed on Instagram Reels that there's, like I said, 1 out of 20 videos that I've watched, there's actually someone speaking to the camera because a lot of it is reposted content from TikTok. So focus on creating content where it has your face in it, at least for the first 3 seconds. That's what I do. It doesn't have to be all the time, but have something interesting. You can see in this video, there's already a bunch of interesting things. One of the things that stands out the most in my videos is my background. Okay, you can see my monitors, you can see an RGB light, you can see vines, but then you have my face. I know it's beautiful. But the thing that stands out the most is the phone. Okay, this is my phone. This is what everyone's phone looks like. But here you can see I've got 1, 2, 3 accessories on my phone. And although this video is about the best photo editing apps, I'm using a different object to kind of hook them into watching. They're going to be like, what is this? And if you look at the comments of this video, you'll see, what are those accessories on your phone? So if you have a weird object like this on your desk, say, you could literally just point at it. It doesn't have to be related to your content. You could just point at it and then here's top 5 tips on blah, blah, blah. Okay. Have something which is going to stand out from the crowd in order to get more attention. So now that we've covered that, here are some tips that you need to start when filming your videos. Now these are pretty basic to me, but to some guys it might be very important. But tip number 1 is avoid filming inside of Instagram Reels, so the interface itself, because Instagram Reels is going to reduce the quality. Everyone thinks that Instagram Reels has 1080p quality. You can upload 60 FPS or 120 FPS. The reality of this is you cannot. Instagram's quality is capped at 720p. Now we'll talk about the quality a little bit later on, but I upload my videos at 1080p. But Instagram's real quality is 720p. And the reason why I do at 1080p is because Instagram does compress it anyway, but because it's got that extra oomph, it's going to keep it crispy. Now, one thing to keep in mind for all you people shooting in 4K and on your phone or your camera, do not export your video in 4K. Okay, I've tried this and for some reason it just doesn't work because Instagram's compression just messes it up. Okay, you'll notice that if you actually export your videos in 1080p, whether you're on your computer or on your phone, the quality will be far better than if you're shooting in 4K. I don't know why that is, but it just is. And that might be due to the file size. Next up is clean your camera before you're shooting. I don't know if you can see it right here, but my lens are absolutely disgusting. Not disgusting, but there's fingerprints on the lens. Okay, and that's going to result in a blurry image. So make sure you've got like a cloth or a t-shirt. Just clean your lens before you actually start shooting because you're going to get a crispy image. And that's what we would like, crispy. Okay. Tip 3 is stand in front of the light and not behind it. The amount of people I see doing this just hurts me as a videographer. Okay. This is a photo of me standing in front of a light. And what I mean by that is with the window, the light is hitting my face. Okay. That's what I mean by standing in front of a light. It's hitting my front where the camera is going to be shooting at. You don't want your light to be behind you where it's going to have a backlight and it's going to make your video look awful, just like this one. Someone says, can you explain your lighting setup for Reels? Yeah, I will explain this. We'll talk about this at the end. We can do that in the Q&A section. I've got videos about this on YouTube already, so you can have a more like in-depth tutorial on how to do this. But we can save that for the Q&A section. Tip 4 is filming on your phone. If you are filming on it, use your back camera, okay? Most phones, except if you've got like a 2022 or a 2021 Android phone, all shoot in 720p. I'm pretty sure most of them all shoot in 720p on your front camera, and your back camera has the capability to shoot in 4K, sometimes 6K, depending on your phone. Now, if you're shooting on iPhone, I have a quick tip for you. If you have an Apple Watch, there's actually an app you can use. I don't know if I can show it now, but let me have a look. I don't know where it is, but essentially, you click on the app on your Apple Watch, and it will open up your camera, and you'll get a live preview of your camera on your watch, and you can just see if you're in frame. You can press record, you can do all of that sort of stuff. So if you've got an Apple Watch and you've got an iPhone, that's going to be a great way to do it. The second way you can do this is just have someone help you out, or just do some test shots before you actually film your proper video. Next up is setting up your Instagram for high quality uploads. And I spoke about this in a recent video I did on YouTube, and I know unfortunately a lot of Android users don't have this feature. Some of them do in the newer phones, but at the moment the older phones don't have it. But you can actually enable a feature on Instagram to enable high quality uploads. And to do this, you head over to this little burger menu here, click on the settings, go to data usage. So you can all go ahead and check this out now if you want, and then high quality uploads. Okay, and what this is going to do is allow you to have higher quality uploads when uploading your videos. Now, if you don't have this feature, you're on Android, the tip I can recommend for this is to make sure you're uploading on Wi-Fi, because for some reason, I don't know where I read this, but uploading on Wi-Fi actually 2 times your quality. Okay, because 3G and 4G and all of that can be very inconsistent, and it actually works in waves, whereas Wi-Fi is very constant. So if you're uploading via Wi-Fi, you're going to have a more smooth upload, and therefore it's just going to result in better quality. Next up is have eye-catching backgrounds. We've already spoken about this. Having myself as a subject well lit up, even though I'm wearing a black top, I stand out, and then my background stands out. When people first watch your video, they're going to see you, they're going to be like, okay, he's okay. But then they're going to see these lights, they're going to see these lights, they're going to see the RGB lights, they're going to pay attention, they analyze, okay? Like, this is what's going to happen. They're going to check this out, or might check that out, then they'll look there, look there, look there. And by the end of that process, that's already 5 seconds into that reel. And then they may have been listening, or they may have also read whatever caption you had. And then they're going to keep watching. So have an eye-catching background. This is absolutely key if you want people to pay attention to you. A lot of people on Instagram, on TikTok, they'll just be filming in their living room. There's nothing interesting. So try and have an eye-catching background. If you don't have a catching background, you can film yourself well lit up, and then you can use a green screen feature. And this is available on most mobile editing apps, as well as the Instagram filters, where you can add an interesting background if you want. Okay, and that'll look really good, and that'll make you stand out. Okay, next up is use multiple angles in each video to keep watch time high. Now, what I mean by this is have your initial hook talking. If it's, for example, we take one of my videos, it's me talking for 3 seconds, I've got my hook. Then what happens is it changes angles, or it changes scenes. So either it's a tutorial, it goes to an iPhone recording, or it's something happening in real life with a camera or whatever. Make sure you're switching it up every like minimum or maximum 5 seconds. So you want to keep it moving, because that's what TikTok and Instagram Reels is all about. It's having that fast-paced environment. You're not here to watch a slow YouTube video. You're here to consume content, make it engaging, make it interacting. So switch it up. Next up, obviously, if you're doing voiceovers or you do videos like me, use an external microphone, because phone audio sucks. Okay, that's just the reality of it. Now, the mic I use is the Rode NTG, Rode Video Mic NTG, which is this one. It's a little bit more on the expensive side, but it is absolutely amazing. But if you can't afford a mic like that, or you're just getting started, you don't want to invest, you can get yourself a mic like this, which is the Rode Video Micro. There's also other variations of this, which are only about 50 bucks, okay? So about 30 pounds, US dollars, 50 bucks, then other currency, I don't know. Um, but yeah, I see someone in the chat saying type affordable mic suggestions. I'm going to leave a little link for affordable mics later on, so don't worry about that. Okay, you can also buy lapel mics, which are mics which literally plug into your phone or plug into your camera. I think I've got one somewhere, but I don't know where. But I guess you know what it is. It's like this little mic which you attach onto here, and they cost $10. Okay, and they work so much better than an iPhone mic. So if you don't have a budget for one of these, or even one of these, get yourself a lapel mic. Someone says, do you edit your audio? I do edit it, and I'll quickly show you that a little bit later. Um, we can save that for the Q&A section as well, in case I forget to cover it. But tip 9, which is the final tip, is use your face for your first 3 seconds of your video, because this is what's missing. This is the gap in the market in Instagram Reels. It's done on TikTok, okay? Everyone's showing their face. But no one is showing their faces on Instagram Reels. And the majority of the reason for that is because a lot of the Reels you see are either theme accounts or they're just random pieces of content, okay? My videos stand out because you see my face. A lot of the viral videos you see stand out because there is a face or there's a person involved, okay? If you're just creating content, for example, I've seen this before. People recreate my content all the time. There's even an account which copies every single video I make, but makes it their own style. But do you know why they're not growing? Is because they are hiding behind the camera. I don't mean that they're hiding, they're scared or whatever, but all they do, for example, if I do an editing tip, they're not in front of the camera. All they see the first 3 seconds is a screen recording how to do blah, blah, blah. Okay? People are going to scroll. People don't care. People don't want to see a black screen or a screen of a field or something. They want to see human interaction. They're on Instagram because what was Instagram before? You share your photos, you share your life. People want to see you. They want to hear you. They want to have a face on you. Okay. If you have an account which posts Instagram Premiere Pro tips and it's just screen recordings all the time, there's no relatability of that. They don't know who that creator is. They don't know when they go on that video, they don't know if it is that creator or if it's another creator. But if you have your face for the first 3 seconds, one, that's going to be great for the hook. Two, they're going to be able to build rapport with that. So next time they see that content, be like, oh, I liked that guy's content last time. What is he offering this time? Okay. So remember that having your face and building a relatability or rapport with your audience is going to be key to your growth and maintaining stable relationships with your audience. Because at the end of the day, your audience is what's going to help you succeed if you want to make this a full-time thing. When it comes to creating your styles, what are the top reel ideas you can actually come up with? So here I actually have a list of, I think, 12 different ideas you can come up with. I'm not going to play these videos just because I think it will take too long, but you will get this presentation at the end so you can go through everything and just check it out if you want. But here we've got 4 different examples quickly. So one of them is just going to be you pointing at text. You don't have to speak or whatever, just have to have some trending audio. Just point all the tips that you have. The next one is going to be the same thing, but you're going to be speaking. You're just going to have your call to action up there and you're going to be speaking what you're going to be talking about. Next up is lip syncs. So this is another trend where it's just you lip syncing whatever someone's saying. It could be a scene from a movie. A lot of people do this sort of stuff with The Office. Next up, you have the on the side idea. So what happens is you're literally just sitting on your phone or something and you're on the side and there's either a narration on top saying what's happening or a funny joke or something like that. And that also works. Like you don't have to put that much effort into it. You can literally just do that. Like I have a reel coming out soon where I'm just scrolling on my phone and it says what a photographer feed looks like. And it's just all of the trending audios playing back to back to back to back every like 0.5 seconds. Next up is trends. Obviously, adapt yourself to these trends. Like we've done this with Bella Porch and the Infinity trend. Adapt your content to trends. You also got a show reel with text and photos, so you can just show this sort of stuff. So this example is in 2018, I was broke working at McDonald's. Okay, so you can kind of guess just by that caption that he's going to show you his progression in life and how he's become a millionaire or whatever. Same thing with show reel videos. Do the exact same thing, but this time it's way more interacting and engaging because you're actually showing visual stuff, and that's what people come to Instagram for, to see visual stuff. You also have dances, so that's a bit self-explanatory. Then you've got the green screen stuff, which we've spoken about before. If you can't or don't have a cool background, use a green screen so people can, so it's different because Instagram is very similar. The type of content you see on there looks the same all the time. So try and stand out from the crowd. That's what you want to do. You can also do this to do very important information. So for example, I did this when Instagram badges came out. I green screened myself saying, here's how to activate Instagram badges. And I point at every section in the Instagram app to activate your badges. You can also duet your videos. So if you find something funny or there's someone that's saying something really interesting, you could like nod or blah, blah, blah. But you can also have your own input. So if someone says something and it's like completely wrong, you could like debate him or you could add on top of that. You've also got selfie videos where you're just ranting or saying something funny or whatever. And then you also have transitions, which are very popular at the moment on Instagram and it's something that I want to be experimenting on. And it's something that you guys can use as a content pillar to actually explode your content because this is what's trending currently on Instagram. I'm sure you've all seen the VN editor tutorials. Every 5 videos you see is how to edit this kind of video, and you can apply that to any niche you are in, and you will get views from that, you'll get followers, and you'll build interaction with people. So those are the 12 content ideas you can do. Now, how to edit your Instagram Reels. Now, I was going to be showing you how to actually edit them in this masterclass, but I thought it would take way too much time. I want to cover computer, how to edit on your computer, as well as how to edit on your mobile. So what we're going to be doing is, at the end of this, we're going to be showing you a community where I'm going to have all of these videos so you can actually scrub through, you can precisely see everything. So I'm not rushing the content, because at the end of the day, I want to make sure you guys are producing high valuable content and knowing exactly how to do it and how I do it. So at the end of this, there will be a link where you guys can check it out and actually see all of this in-depth stuff. And we're going to cover mobile and computer editing. Now, here are the hot tips that come before posting. Now, these are the most important things that you need to know before you post. And one of them is actually game changing. Okay. So first, you want to post at the best time possible. Now, in order to see when the best time to post is, Instagram's going to be telling you. So head over to your insights. If you are a creator or business account, I strongly recommend that you upgrade. It's completely free to change it to a professional account. So either creator or business. I'm currently set as a creator account. And then in your insights, you'll be able to see total followers. And then if you scroll all the way down, you can see the most active times. And if you tap on this button, it will actually tell you when your audience is most active. Now, a cool little thing you can actually take advantage of is, people are going to assume that you should be posting at 3 p.m. because this is when people are most active. But in reality is, you want to be posting 1 hour before that. And I'll tell you why. If your audience is most active at 3 p.m., if you post at 12, 1, 2 p.m., you're going to get that initial engagement. You're going to get those initial likes, those comments, those saves, and all of that. Instagram's going to track that. And like I said, Instagram works in waves when it pushes out your reels. If it's seen you've got that interaction already, once your audience is most active, it's then going to push it out to as many of them as possible to even explode that growth. Okay, so don't post at 3 p.m. Post at 12 p.m. for me. Well, this is for me anyway. These are my analytics. So whatever it says for you, post the block before that, anytime in that block. Next up, use the right hashtags. Now, I'm going to take a quick water break because I'm thirsty. I'm going to quickly read the chat. Is it irritating when people copy you, or are you fine with it? It's a bit mixed. So there's, like I said, there's an account on TikTok which posts the exact same content as me, and I find it absolutely hilarious. But it gets to a point where it gets annoying, right? So if one account is posting all of your content and is not being original, that's when it gets annoying. But if you copy one creative and another creative and whatever, I'm not all about copying, but the thing is, they found what works. So why shouldn't you take that to your advantage? If you're a small account, they're not going to care. I don't care if people post the same stuff as me, because at the end of the day, I want to bring value to as many people as possible. So if another account is posting my stuff, like theme accounts post my content all the time, and some of them don't ask me. So if a theme account posts my content, they don't ask me beforehand, or they don't let me know, I get slightly annoyed, but I don't really care, because at the end of the day, it's pushing that content out to more people. Okay, and of course, if they don't tag you, that's a bit annoying, but that's another story. Let's take a water break. So post before that time, not at that time. Yeah, exactly. So you want to be posting your content before your peak time. So what's going to happen is, we spoke about this at the very start of this masterclass, is your content gets pushed out in waves. So the first hour is the most important. We'll also talk about this a little bit later, but the first hour is most important. So if you get that initial engagement in the first hour, Instagram's going to give you good authority credit. I can't remember the word I used, but it's going to give you a good social score or something like that. And then it's going to push it out to more people. So if you post before your peak time, you're going to have more interactions for that post. Okay, so when it comes to using hashtags, it's not the most important thing, and people always think it is, but it's really not. Like, I don't really think it plays a key role anymore, and that's just because how the algorithm works with Instagram Reels. It plays a role, or it used to play a role with posts, but essentially you want to be creating half of your hashtags relevant to your niche. So I'm a photographer, I'm a videographer, so half of my hashtags are going to be about that. The other half is going to be related to your specific content you are posting on that day. So if I'm posting a Premiere Pro tutorial, it's going to be Premiere Pro hacks, Premiere Pro tips. Okay, it's going to be related to that specific piece of content. You then want to have an upside down pyramid. Now, this is something that no one really thinks about, but it makes so much sense. Okay, so if you have a third of your hashtags in a small category of 5 to 20,000 reach, and then another third in a medium size, 20 to 50,000. Sorry, I got the hiccups. And then your third one is going to be a big reach where it's going to be 50K to a million. That's going to snowball. Okay. Because initially you're going to start trending on these small hashtags. Now, this is why it's so important. The reason why you're having a third of that, a third of that, and a third of that is because your goal is to trend in this small category of hashtags. Once you're trending on those hashtags, that's going to elevate you and help you trend on the medium-sized hashtags. And once you're trending on that, that's going to help you trend to 50 to 1 million hashtags. Now, I see so many people posting hashtags and they have 20,000 followers or something, and all of their hashtags are ranked, like they've got 1 million reach, 2 million reach, 500,000 reach, but none of them are small categories. Okay, so you're never going to rank on them unless by chance you go viral. Okay, so it's important to have a small, medium, and massive range when it comes to your hashtags. Now, how do you find these ranges? Well, you can do it on Instagram, but it is very time consuming. Now, luckily, I found a software which actually really helps you out, and I use it every single day. Now, I don't like paying for software. It's not a free software. I'm going to say it out right now. It's not a free software. It is very cheap, though. It's extremely cheap. I think it's like $5 a month. And they've got an annual plan. If you pay for that, you get like 20% off. And I have an affiliate link in case you guys want to check it out. But what Flick does is essentially you can collect and create collections of your pillars. Okay, so I post stuff about After Effects, Premiere Pro, color grading, iPhone, mobile photography, mobile editing. So I've got all of these collections, and what I've done is I put 30 to 50 hashtags in that collection. Now, a cool feature about this is that these collections you can actually once you're in the collection, there's a button that you can press, which will press copy 5, 10, or 30 hashtags, and it will copy a random hashtags out of that collection you've created. Now, these collections are organized in a low competition, medium competition, and high competition. So if you can't be bothered to actually go in here and select all the hashtags you want to use for that specific content, you're feeling lazy or whatever, you can press on this button and it's going to say copy 5, copy 10, or copy 30. And it's going to randomly select hashtags you've put into that collection, which is so powerful because now you have that initial upside down pyramid. You've got your small, medium, and massive hashtags, and that's what's going to help you grow. Okay. Now, I know I've spoken about hashtags quite a lot now, but we're going to move on to the next one, and that is your title catchy? Okay, so this is your hook. Top 5 cameras in Instagram in 2022. Okay, now that's catchy. Like, people want to know what the top cameras are. Okay, but here we've got another video, which is just a tutorial with no hook. Like, it's just like people are just going to think, what is this? Just a tutorial? A tutorial on what? Now, this is something that I'm really bad at. For this type of content, I posted like 3 or 4 pieces of content about VN editor tutorials. So I've actually found a little method that I think is going to work in the future, but you want to kind of find your hook. You want to make your title catchy and you want to make people watch, because everyone's doing this sort of content. And I advise you to think about maybe making these tutorials too, but put it in your own theme and just kind of adapt it to you. Okay. Now you need to find a way to have that title catchy. I need to find a way to also have it catchy because I don't want to blend in with the crowd. At the end of the day, you don't want to be in the crowd, you want to be out of the crowd. So find a way to do that. One ways I found how to do that is to introduce the initial hook as, for example, the 2021 recap reel. Before I actually showed the tutorial, I said, here's how to do the 2021 recap reel. Okay. In this video, I didn't do that. And you can see that by the views, it didn't do very well. So your title or hook is always going to be very important. You also need to remember, is your content worth saving? So the difference between 1K views and a reel that has 100,000 views is that the second one has more saves and it also has more shares. Okay. So make sure you provide as much value as possible. Okay. So you can see here it's got 500 saves, here it's got 2000 saves. And you can see that you can just see it by the views, the likes, the comments, that the interactions on this is way better because it's worth saving. Okay, this isn't that worth, that's not that worth it because this was just a random thing. It wasn't related to a trend, it was just a video. Okay, so take that into consideration. Finally, this is one of the most important things that people are not doing is optimizing their Instagram profile. Now, we've spoken about entertaining reels before and educational reels and how if you implement entertaining reels into your pillars, people might like your content, but they're not necessarily going to follow. Now, this is where your profile is the most important because either they're just going to scroll past and then they'll see another one of your videos and then they might follow and like and whatever. But if they check out your entertaining reel and then click on your profile and then they see that your profile is not optimized, they have no idea who you are, no idea what kind of content you post, you're just your average Joe who works at the local supermarket, they're not going to follow you. So the most important things when it comes to your profile is your bio, your profile picture, your username, highlights. Now, highlights is something that I am awful at. So if anyone has any tips on how to make better highlights or make them more engaging, please send me a message. We're all here to learn together. And then finally, your call to action. So your username, you want to make sure that it's easily rememberable. You want to make sure it's clear. You don't want to have xyz dot Jefferies dot creator, okay, because that's just long. It's not clear. You want to have a rememberable name, easy for anyone to type. Your profile picture, you want to make sure it stands out. I posted a video about this on how to make your profile picture stand out if you haven't got like a cool background or whatever. I saw some of the comments saying, why have you posted this but not done it yourself? What? Because I really like my background. And it's just personal preference. Okay, but if you have a background that's rubbish, it just blends in with the background. You can't really like tell that it's a cool background. It doesn't stand out. Make sure your profile picture stands out. Make sure your username also stands out, right? I'm going to show you the example in just a minute, but having your name, just your first name, and then what you do is going to be super important because people are going to read that first because it's in bold. So Seb, creative tips. And then right underneath, you're going to see follow for daily creative tips. You also see that because I have my own separate brand, I've put founder of Creatives Club. That's going to create more interest. People are going to click on it, check it out. Now, I haven't posted any content on there and I'm really bad. I've got almost 1,000 followers on creativesclub.store and I've posted one piece of content. So yeah, just remember that, yeah, just ignore what I said for the Creators Club. This is only really relevant if you have your own brand, okay? But this is something I'm working on. I'm going to be posting content on there from next week, I think. And because I am a bigger brand or individual, I have used the Creators Club hashtag to be featured. This is a fairly new thing that I've added into my bio, but it kind of brings more authority. And then we've got our call to action where it says YouTube, Discord, and more below. And it's got a link, so people are going to click on it. Now, the key thing about your profile is you need to make it as interesting as possible because Instagram actually scans how many seconds or how many interactions it has on your account. Okay? So what that means is if they're clicking on your followers, on your following, on your profile picture, on your links in your bio or your other ats in your bio, or they're checking out your highlights, they're checking out your posts, Instagram actually detects and analyzes how many seconds you spend on that creator's profile. And then if you spend enough time on that, it's going to introduce more content to you as an individual of that person. So if you spend 20 seconds on my page and you're clicking on all the buttons, you're going to see more content from me. And that's just how it works. And people don't know this. So this is why optimizing your bio and your profile is so important. Okay. And going back to the very start, if you post an entertaining reel and someone clicks on your profile and it's a complete mess, they're not going to follow you. So make sure what you do is clear. Now you can see from these examples, I'm sorry that they're blurred, I don't know why they are, but you can see here, Oliver Howes, photographer, Lizette, influencer coach, social media marketing expert. You don't need to have your name in this section. You can literally just have what you do. And then below you can see what they do. So if you check out this profile, you can expect to see online business growth, organic social media strategies, and they're going to be helping you boost your online visibility and sales. And then below you have your call to action. Now everyone has their call to action here, except for this person. My services, products, and YouTube. Here's the link. Think we can collaborate? Message me. Here's the link. Ways to collaborate? Here's the link. Okay, so you get the idea. I want to quickly check the the chat. I post mostly fitness content, but I also like photography and videography. I have my bio set as athlete. Is that okay? As long as people, I think, to be completely honest, I think that is a little bit vague. Okay. So you could put fitness photographer. Okay. You could put like fitness then slash photographer, like Oliver's done here. But I think having athlete is just very broad, okay? Because you also have this option to add your what you do. So here I've got video creator. This person's got digital creator. You could maybe have one of those sections as photographer, and then your next section is athlete, okay? So you want to be as specific as possible. You don't want to have something very generic because if they just see athlete, they'll be like, okay, cool. Now, I'm not being rude here, but you want people, the first thing people are going to be reading is this sort of stuff, and they want to see what this page is going to be about. And if it's not interesting to them, swipe away, watch the next reel. Okay. So next up is are you being consistent? Now, I'd recommend you to post at least daily, and if you can, post every single 2 days. Okay, I post daily if you can, but at the minimum, post every single 2 days, especially if you want your Instagram growth to explode. So, what are the keys to actually growing on Instagram? If you've joined this masterclass and expected in 7 days that you're going to get 10,000 followers, 5,000 followers, or whatever, or 10,000 views, 100,000 views, a million views in 7 days, you can just log off and go do whatever you want because that's not going to happen. Okay. What happened to me when I started posting Instagram Reels is I posted 27 videos to get my first reel that had 10,000 views. Now, here's the important thing you need to remember. These 27 videos are videos that were the most popular videos on my TikTok account. These videos had over 1 million views, 500,000 views, 250,000 views. But what were they getting on Instagram Reels? 1,000 views, 2,000 views, 5,000 views. They never reached 10,000 views. And do you want to know why? It's because you need weeks, not days, to grow on Instagram. First, you need to gain Instagram's trust. You need to have a trust score on Instagram. If you're posting content which is viral on theme pages and whatever, and you're a brand new account, you've got no trust, you've got no social proof. If you've bought bots in the past, we spoke about this before, you post viral content which has been proven on other accounts, but you're not getting any views, it's because you don't have Instagram's trust. And Instagram has this built into their algorithm. If you're not getting the right amount of account reach and interactions on your account, you're not going to be growing. So use your time to learn and master Instagram Reels, and then your videos are going to get pushed out. Okay. Remember, it took me 27 videos of my most popular videos on TikTok, and I didn't even get a video that went over 10,000 views. So that is one of the most important things. You cannot expect this is going to happen overnight. Like Rome wasn't built in a day. Nothing's built in a day. Okay, it's going to take weeks. Sometimes it will take you months, depending on what you create. It's a gradual process. Just remember that. So posting one reel every single week and expecting to grow is just not going to work. And that's just the truth. That's a harsh reality. If you want to be growing, making this a full-time thing, for the first 2 months, I know this is going to be shocking, but you want to be posting every single day. You want to learn what works for you. You want to earn Instagram's trust, and you want to build an audience. Now, why are all of these things so important? Because one, you're going to learn what content works best for you. You're going to learn what kind of content you prefer posting. On top of that, you're going to be earning Instagram's trust because you're going to be on that platform every single day, getting more account reach every single day. It's just going to be going up and up and up and up and up. Even if you're only getting 100 views, 200 views, 300 views, it's still going to be accounting as an overall account reach. Okay, my account reach every single month is crazy. And it's because I built that portfolio of content. Like Instagram, it can randomly take my content like it did with that video that's got 1.5 million views, which did really badly in the past, like when I first posted. But because I didn't post in a few days, it reintroduced that into the algorithm because Instagram trusts my account. It knows that I provide value. And they also know that by doing that, that's going to have a mental effect in my head to be like, you just got a video that hit 1.5 million views. Why aren't you posting? Okay. And on top of that, you also build your audience. So it says posting 3 days away, can that work? Yes, that can work. The only thing is that can be a little bit annoying for your audience, but go for it. Who cares? If you're just starting out, who cares? Post as much as you want. People on TikTok, so I watch all of these Instagram, not Instagram, TikTok growth thingies. People always say you should be posting 3 to 5 pieces of content every single day. That's what Gary Vee says. To be honest, you don't have to do it. I've never done that. I've only posted 1 piece of content a day, and that's just because I wanted to be consistent. But if you have the bandwidth to be posting 3 to 5 videos, which are valuable, remember they have to be valuable. They have to be entertaining, they have to be educational, they have to provide value to your audience. Post as much as you want. But remember that if you're overposting and then the next day or the next 5 days, you've already posted all of your content and you have nothing to post, that's where you're going to be going wrong. Okay. When you're first starting out, you need to be gaining their trust. You need to be posting consistently. You need to see what works and you need to build an audience. And if you're trying to build an audience and you're posting 5 times a day, you might be annoying them. So just take that with a grain of salt. So the key takeaways about this is that you're not going to be blowing up in a week. Don't think you are. It's not going to happen unless you're like that 1% person. You need to be working hard. You need to be putting time into it. You guys might not know this, but I work a full-time job. Okay. I work 8 hours, sometimes 9 hours every single day on a full-time job. I work at a marketing agency, but I still managed for 1 year straight to post every single day. I may have taken a break once or twice. Okay. But I still managed to do it. So if I can do it, whilst also having a life, going out with friends, going to the gym every single day, going to the cinema, working, and then also producing 1 piece of content for TikTok and Instagram and one every single day, and then one YouTube video every single week, you can imagine how much I'm actually working, and I'm working way too crazily, but that's because I wanted to make it work for me. Now, I'm not saying you need to be working as hard as me, but I'm just saying that you need to be putting in the work if you want to see results. Okay. Did not know you worked full time. Fair play, credit where credit's due. I mean, yeah, it's not something I speak about, but it is the reality of things. And it's going to be the reality of things for most of you guys. If you've moved out of your house and you have to pay for rent, you have to pay for bills. And obviously if you're just starting out, you're not going to be making money for the first 6 months. Now you will be making a little bit of money, like you'll be making brand deals every month or so, but it's not going to be enough to pay for your rent, to pay for your food, to pay for all your memberships. So just remember that, okay? Have a balance, okay? Don't overdo it. But what you can do by this is just by batching your content. Now, I know Kasim, we've spoken about this before, I think it's with you, but I think I spoke to you about it or like told you how to do it, or you said it, but take a day throughout the week. Day 1 is going to be your planning and inspiration day. Day 2 is going to be your shooting day, and day 3 is going to be your editing day, okay? And then that 3 days out of the week, you've done all of your content. All you have to do for the rest of the week or the next 10 days or however many videos you've batch produced, you just have to press post. And then at the end, once you're about to run out, day 1, planning. Day 2, filming. Day 3, editing. Then you're going to start growing. Then you're going to be consistent. Then you're going to be getting results. Okay? So it doesn't matter if you're working a full-time job. Don't say I don't have time. Okay? Everyone has time. You got the weekend. I know some people have different situations. Okay? And I do appreciate that. But you do need to put in the work, okay? So you need to try and make it work, whether that's doing inspiration and filming on day 1 and then just editing on day 2. You can try and find a little bit of time. It only takes about an hour to find 20 ideas. It only takes about an hour to film those 20 ideas if you're good at what you do. So with experience, everything becomes faster. And then for me, just to put it in perspective, it would take me about 5 to 10 minutes to find an idea that I really like and script it out. Okay? It'll then take me 2 minutes to film it. As long as I've got the video set up and all of my cameras and lights are set up, it'll take me 2 minutes to film it. And then it only takes me, depending on the content, about 5 to 10 minutes to edit it on Premiere Pro. And that's because I'm experienced with doing it. I know how to do it. I have my keyboard shortcuts. So at first it might take you an hour to do all of that, but over time, once you become consistent, you'll find strategies to how to make it work for you and how to speed up the process. So if you take one thing from this masterclass, remember these steps, okay? These are the most important steps in this masterclass that we've spoken about. Make your content short, maximum 15 seconds, okay? Try not to go over. If you have to, fine, but try not to go over 15 seconds. And at a maximum, do not go over 30 seconds because it depends on your content, but most likely it's not going to work. So it says, do you put your text on Premiere Pro or the Insta app? I do it on the Insta app. And that's something to do with the algorithm. We can talk about that a little bit later. Okay, it's not a known fact, but I think subconsciously, we'll talk about it now. So this video here, I've actually put in Premiere Pro and it did get 1.5 million views. this video here was put inside of Instagram, the text, sorry, and it's got 800,000 views. Now, subconsciously, I don't know if this is a fact, but you guys can also think about it. If you're putting text inside of the Instagram app, Instagram has metadata. I don't know how much you guys know about metadata, but Instagram knows all of this stuff. Instagram will scan that and add that into the actual metadata of that video. So if it says photographers editing for their first client, it's going to see that photographers thing and editing, and that's going to add that as a keyword inside of the metadata. Now, obviously, Instagram's algorithm has advanced along the years, and it can scan all of this as long as it's clear, okay, as long as it doesn't blend into the background. It will scan this and it'll put like a red circle around it, and it will analyze that, and now add that into the metadata. Okay, so for 80% of my reels, I'll do it inside of Instagram app, but then stuff like this where the background is blurry, I can just put it into the Premiere Pro app. But feel free to experiment. Like, this isn't facts. This is just my assumption. This is my subconscious thinking it, just like from an analytics standpoint. But yeah, that's a very good question. Next up, it's not working. Why is it not working? Straight to the point. Don't waste time. Okay? The amount of times I see videos where it's 25 seconds, 35 seconds, 45 seconds, and you get 5 seconds or 10 seconds of information out of that 35-second video, people are not going to want to watch that. Remember, I said at one point in this video, I'm all about no bullshit content. Every single second in my video counts, except if it's something special, like an announcement or something, okay? If you're doing educational stuff, do not make a video like how to edit something. Do not go through the whole process. Do not, if you're doing like a narration, don't say, hey guys, here's how you can, hey guys, it's Seb, here's how you can easily edit your video inside of Premiere Pro. First things first, what we're going to do is open up Premiere Pro, and then we're going to select a new project. We're then going to import our clips. We're then going to do XYZ, blah, 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 blah. What you need to do is say, here's how to easily edit in Premiere Pro, or whatever the topic is. And then you do step 1, add this. Step 2, add that. Kill all that fat. Get rid of it. You don't need all those fill words. You just need to do boop, 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 and that's what you need to do. Okay? Straight to the point. Next up, use trending audios. We've spoken about this quite a bit in this entire masterclass. It's very key if you want to just help out your growth. It's not essential, but I think it's pretty key to just implement that into your videos. And obviously, if you have like narration, like that sort of stuff, try and avoid putting audio which has like singing in it, because that's just going to make your audio not very clear. I think I've turned off my keyboard. Oh, my keyboard's dead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, next, step 4. Sorry to ruin the flow, but grab people's attention within the first 3 seconds. So what you want to do... Oh my God, that's just not funny, is it? Siri. Step 4, grab people's attention within the first 3 seconds. So you do this by introducing the hook. With this video, although it hasn't got over 100,000 views, it's very interesting because there are a few elements in here, okay? There's my face and there's my voice saying how to take good real estate photos. But there's also subtitles which I've added inside of Premiere Pro, which pop up to every single word that I've added. Now I've put the extra 5-minute time in editing this video. So when I say how, this how button, this how text appears. When I say to, this appears. When I say take, that appears. When I say good, that appears. You get the point. So it pops up how to take good real estate photos. And it's animated, it's engaging. Okay, so that's something you can implement into your reels if you're doing this sort of content. Step 5 is optimize your profile to convert them into followers. We've spoken about this quite a lot, so I'm not going to cover that anymore. But once again, you'll have this entire PDF of this masterclass, so you can refer back to everything. Step 6 is use relevant targeted hashtags. Once again, we've spoken about this quite a lot. So top 5 cameras for Instagram in 2022. We've got videography, which is related to cameras. We've got video Instagrams related to cameras. Filmmakers, filmmaking, all of that is related to my niche. And then here, this bottom section is cameras. So Sony Alpha, Sony Professional, Sony, these are cameras. And then here we've got the 5 cameras that I actually talk about in this video. So Sony ZV-1, ZV-E10, Nikon, Canon M50, and all of that, okay? So make it relevant to the piece of content as well as make it relevant to your niche. Step 7 is research your target audience So we've spoken about this before, but it's going to be very key. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just see what's working for others and implement that into your strategy. So research bigger creators, use TikTok as your search engine so you can actually search everything out. There's a filter section which shows you the most liked videos in that 7-day period or that 1 month period of all time period. Okay, so there's no reason for you not to find inspiration. You also have Google, YouTube Trends, and Answer the Public. You've got a bunch of websites online where you can find stuff that people are asking in your niche. Also, having an engaging hook is very important because once again, if you don't have that, that's just gonna, people aren't gonna watch. If they see here's how you can easily blah 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 blah, so they're not gonna watch. So here we've got Instagram hack. It's gonna save you so much more time. Okay, people are gonna be intrigued. People want to know what this is. Next up, when it comes to your Instagram growth, now this is the one thing that I've never seen anyone talk about, so pay attention. The Creator Studio is your best friend. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to open up Instagram and we're going to do a live little preview. We open up Instagram. I don't know if it's gone there, but you've got the notifications. You've got that, and you've got no filter system whatsoever. You just have all of your notifications and you cannot easily find stuff. So what you can do is open up the Creator Studio, business.facebook.com/Creator Studio. You can link your Facebook account and you can link your Instagram account. And then what you want to do, I don't know why it's on Facebook, but what you want to do is go onto the Facebook section and then you go to inbox. Then you go on the Instagram icon. And what do you have here? You have all of your interactions or all of your comments in here. Now, I don't know why it's not letting me scroll, but usually you can scroll. But you can see I've got plus 20 interactions, right? Now, these are all separate videos. So that's one video, that's going to be another video, that's another video. And what you can do here is you can reply to all of your comments. And here's where the hack comes in really key. And some of you may have noticed me doing this. Reply to your comments as soon as you post your video. So because this is quite old, I haven't filtered it all out. But as soon as I post, I reply to all of the comments in that video. Okay, but what I don't do is I do not like these comments. I don't do this. What I do is I save this for the next day that I'm going to be posting. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all of these and like them. And what is that going to do? That's going to alert all of the people who have gone onto your Instagram account and put a comment on one of your videos. And it's going to say, Thingy has liked your comment. And what does that do? That brings them to your account. And what they're going to see? A new video. And what they're going to do? Watch that video. And what they're going to do after that? They might comment. They might like it. They might save it. Once you've done that, what you can do is press this button right here, move to done, and then it's going to clear that video. So every single day you want to be clearing this so it goes to 0. And you do that within the first 1 hour of you posting. Why first 1 hour of you posting? Because the first hour of any post on any platform is the most important hour of your content. If it gets so much reach, if you get like 100 comments in 1 hour, Instagram's going to be like, what the heck? We need to be showing this to more people. If it gets 5 comments in an hour, they'll be like, okay. But this also accounts for your account reach, okay? If you're getting more account reaches within that first hour, Instagram is still going to realize this. Instagram's going to be like, okay, this account has unusually gotten like 100 more profiles on its account, even though their content isn't doing very well. Let's try and move something forward. Let's try and help them out. Okay, so the Creator Studio is going to be so important to your growth, and this is one hack no one is talking about. So if you take one thing from this, the Creator Studio is game changing. So the key takeaways from this, wait, did I skip a slide? No. Key takeaways from this is it takes time and consistency to blow up. So it's important to go straight to the point and give value to people in short form content. So kill all the fat, get rid of it, you don't need it. Take your 30-second video and put it into a 15-second video. And grab their attention at the very beginning. Now, are you ready to commit yourself to work hard in content creation for this month? What I mentioned on the landing page when you signed up to this masterclass is that we're going to be introducing the Instagram Reels Challenge. So this is something everyone is going to be participating in, hopefully. So what I want is to explain how this is going to work. I've made that so suspenseful. So welcome to the Instagram Reels Challenge. Are you ready to see what can be achieved in 10 days, my friends? What you're going to be doing is you're going to be showing up every single day. You're going to be doing the work every single day for 10 days. Once you've built that habit, it's going to be super easy. You're not going to give it up. You know how everyone says it takes like X amount of hours to make something a habit. This is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be making this a habit, and we're going to be doing this with the Reels Challenge. And it doesn't just stop at that 10-day challenge. It's just a movement to help you get there. Okay, so here are the rules. If you skip a day during the challenge, you are going back to 0, my friend. If you're on day 9 and you skipped the day, you're going back to 0. What you want to be achieving is posting 10 reels in 10 days. Now, what I mean by that is not 10 videos in one day for 10 days. It's one video for every day for 10 days. Once you start seeing results, because you will start seeing results, you share your wins with me. Now, either we do this on the community, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute, or you just tag me on Instagram. And if I see your results, I'm like, good job, good job. I'm going to put that on my story. You already know. And what is that going to do? That might get a few people on your profile. All right, Siri, we get it. You want to be involved, but go away. Right, the watch is off. Now, when it comes to the Instagram #Reels challenge, what we're going to be doing is identifying at least 5 competitors in your niche that have been performing well on Reels or on TikTok. So we've spoken about how to do this. So what you're going to be doing after this masterclass is finding 5 competitors in your niche. Now, what I mean by competitors is not people who you want to beat or whatever. It's just people who post the same kind of content as you. So once you've found those 5 creators, you want to do content research. You want to find the top 3 reels of that person. Now, you don't have to go fully in depth into this and find all of the top ones, but just find the ones that are reaching over like 250,000 views, and then link them on a spreadsheet. So you have something that you can reference back to and be like, this worked for this creator. Can I do something similar like he has or she has? Once you've done that, you want to create your content plan. So this is the #Reels Challenge, where we're going to be posting 10 videos in 10 days. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be creating our 10 video ideas. So this is 10, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. So we're going to be talking about this a little bit later on. This is going to be available, I think, on Monday, but we're going to be talking about the script. So you need a rough script for each reel that you create. Remember, the hook is the most important part, because if they don't watch the first 2-3 seconds, they're not going to watch the rest of it. So analyze what your competitors are doing. You should have this research already, and you want to be scripting out your videos. Now, it might seem like I'm not scripting my videos, but I have my phone right next to me on my chair that you don't see, and I have exactly what I'm going to say in here. Here's an Instagram tip you need to know. Step 1, head over to settings. Or wait, here's an Instagram tip you need to know. Here's how to get high quality uploads. Step 1, go to settings. Step 2, blah, 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 blah. You get the point. So it's all scripted. It may sound like it's all natural, but that's all hidden in the edit. And it also makes your content straight to the point, no bullshit. You're given the value you want. You're not going to have any fill words. You're not going to go, and then, you get rid of all that fat that you don't need. Now, when it comes to the length, we've spoken about this before, but your reels should be maximum 15 seconds and absolute maximum 30 seconds. But ideally, try and stick within that 15 seconds purely for this challenge. Okay. Generally speaking, 90% of my reels that have over 1 million views are all under 15 seconds. The sweet spot is 7 to 15 seconds. But feel free to experiment. Once again, there's no rules. It's not a rule, but this is what's been working for me. This is what works for other creators. This is what's going to work for you. When it comes to hashtags, we've spoken about this, so I'm not going to mention it too much, but 5 to 15 hashtags, half of them related to your niche, and then your content, and then you have that upside down pyramid. Now, I'm going to be holding you accountable to this, and we have created the inner circle. with Sebastien Jefferies. Okay. So let me just grab something. Give me 1 second. Forget my keyboard's not working, so I have a little bit of a dilemma here. But we've created a community outside of Discord. I know I mentioned we're going to create a private Discord channel, but I just thought this is going to be so much better. But my inner circle, where we're going to be keeping you accountable. Now, the sign up link to that is in the chat. It is going to be 100% free. Do not worry. You don't have to pay anything. It's just to hold you accountable to you posting your hashtag Reels challenge every single day for the next 10 days. Okay, you're going to get a message every single day. Have you completed your today's challenge? And then you can click on this box and it's going to say you completed it. And then I'm going to be notified as well that you've completed it. So I can hold you accountable to this. Okay, now of course this is optional. If you want to actually grow on Instagram, do this challenge. If you aren't that bothered, if it sounds like it's too much work, then of course you don't have to do it. But we also do have a slightly paid program. Now, this is only if you want an extra push. This is only if you want extra guidance. Now, I am going to be guiding you on this free thing on Vibely, but there are like extra bonuses, right? I can prompt you. I can check out your content. I can do all of that. I can make sure every single day you're posting. I can send you a message, all of that. We have these packages, okay? There's even one-on-one coaching, one-on-one memberships. I'm going to be working with other creators like Oliver Wright, like Oliver Howes, Simone Ferretti, the Italian guy who does the portrait photography. We're going to be holding growth workshops. We're going to be helping you guys out. Now, this is a membership basis. Okay, so you don't have to feel like you have to do this. This is not something you have to do. This is completely optional. This is if you want to take it to the extra mile, extra thing, then we have this option. Okay. Now, I'm not expecting anyone to sign up, but I thought I'd put it there. Okay, because I think if you guys want that one-on-one thing, you want to explode, you want to be making $5,000 every single month, then here's a way you can do it. And here's how a creator like myself can help you do that. Now, this isn't a way for me to make money. This is just a way to help support everything. Okay, and actually also push you to do this. Okay, now I'm going to be completely honest with you. I paid £250 dollars, sorry, or $200 every single month to a private fitness coach. And it's not because I need the experience, and it's not because I need to know what I need to be doing or what. It's because it's giving me that thing in my head. I've just spent X amount of dollars to do this, and that's going to motivate me to go to the gym every single day, and that's what I've been doing. Okay, so this isn't a thing to make money. This isn't a make money thing. Okay, this is to actually push you to actually commit. If you put money into things, you always do these things. You're not going to just give up. Okay, and if you want to make this a full-time thing, then go ahead and do that. Now, I'm going to stop talking about this because I don't want to talk about money, because I don't care about it. It's more for you. It's not for me. Okay. So, if you're ready to commit yourself to working hard and creating content every single day, go ahead and join Vibely. It's 100% free. Remember, it's just going to prompt you to do that. And of course, if you want that extra bonus, that extra push, that one-on-one tuition or whatever it is, then you can go ahead and do that too. And now, my friends, we have finished.